Okay, for exercise 3, we are now going to draft a series of line work, like a bunch of walls, for example. So you see we've started with some basic line work. So there's going to be some additional commands that we're going to have to get used to extend lines, trim lines, etc., etc. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to adopt the properties of the line work provided so that we're working with the same type of line work. Then you can use the line work tool. Remember, for this exercise you can use this geometry method, so it allows you to work in a chain of lines. Okay, so let's just have a look at the dimensions. So we need to go 2,500 and 2,500 in that direction. So start typing 2,000. Okay, we need to go down by 500. We need to go 2,500 in this direction, so 2,500. Then we need to go down by 3 meters. This is why it's important to learn how to dimension objects as well. Remember, a contractor is trying to do this on site. Now, if you hold shift down, you can lock it in that direction, snap there, and close the bit of line work. Okay, so now that we've got a series of bits of line work, the next step we'll need to do is we need to start introducing some additional tools to create these fillets. Okay, so we need a fillet radius of 1,000 and 500. So what you need to do is you need to select these 2 bits of line work, and you need to select the fillet tool at the top, fillet and chamfer. Remember, this is going to be 500. Good. So that's 500. Okay. Now we need to introduce a radius of 1,000, so select those. You're going to use a radius of 1,000. Good. Okay, so we've created those radiuses of 1,000. Now I need to select all these connected bits of lines. So holding shift down. So hold shift down to select all this line work. Okay, so once you've got all the line work, you see that it goes a green color when you zoom in. We need to use the offset tool. Okay, so we need to use the offset tool, which is this tool over here. If I select a bit of line work, you see it'll allow me to offset it. Now, in order to create a copy of the offset, you need to click Control on your keyboard. You know, the plus icon appears. We need to offset this by 115. Good. You could have offset the squares and then added radiuses that way, but remember, it's a bit of work. The next step I want to do is I want to select these bits of lines, and I want to use the extension tool. So I want to extend all of these lines or adjust them to an object, and I'm going to use this bit of line here. So you see it selects all of those. Select all of those. You're going to use the extend tool, and I'm going to select this line work over here. So you can just select the lines that you want to extend, click the tool, and then where you want to extend them to. Now we will have a problem if we want to use, if I select this bit of line work and this bit of line work and I use the fillet tool, you notice it deletes the segment. So how do we get around that conundrum that we'll end up with? So what you need to do is you need to select this bit of line work, you need to use the split tool, and you need to draw a line where it needs to split. And you'll notice that this line work will get split. Likewise, select this bit of line work, use your split tool and create. So it just means that it's going to trim that line work in that location. Okay, now we can go and say, select this, use a trim tool. Okay, note some of these tools do come with shortcuts, so you'll need to start learning that as well. Okay, so you're going to select that line work and that line work, and you're going to use the trim tool. Okay, now I'm going to use this bit of line work and this bit of line work. So select those bits of lines. I'm going to use the trim tool. Good. Select. Just be careful, sometimes if you select too many lines, it'll try and intersect those. So let's just select that quickly, trim, select those, and then trim. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so we've created the geometry, we've used the correct line types. Okay, great. The next thing that we need to do is we just need to measure those dimensions. So once again, select the dimension tool, make sure that the correct one's selected, which it is. Okay, just remember, keep saving while you're working so you don't lose your work. So you're going to pick this point here and pick this point here, and then double click in the direction you want it to go. Again, give me that direction, so maybe that point to that point. So click that point from there to there. Good. So please give me the dimensions outlined in exercise 3. Okay, so that's it for exercise 3.